Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this kind of a surprise video, but I actually had some time over today and I thought I'd sit down and just film a little bit of a bonus video, actually because it's my birthday today. Today that you're seeing this video, the day that this is going live, it is my 40th birthday. I'm turning 40 on the 23rd of January. Am I officially an adult yet? Asking for a friend. I also wanted to sit down and just chat a little bit about the trip that we are planning, the trip that we are going to do with this community, and I can finally share some details with you, share the dates, where we're going, what we're doing, and booking is officially live. I don't know how much I'm going to be talking about the makeup as I'm sitting down to do this, but we'll see. I am going to be actually wearing a palette that I have not worn before, so I might chat about that as we get into it. But this video is more about, actually I found this one when I was moving and I was like, why did I never use this one up? This is the Rose Flash Balm by Pixi. Have you been on my channel long enough to know how much I love this one? This is a multi-functioning product. For me, I use this as a hydrating primer because it also blurs my skin a bit, and you can tell I almost have nothing left. It comes out almost like a little weird inconsistency. It's well, I don't want to say what it's like, but it's a little weird in consistency, but I love this on my skin. The days when I actually feel like my skin could use a little hydration, but it's not greasy or dewy, so it doesn't really affect the makeup that goes on over. It just keeps my makeup looking non-oily and doesn't break off my makeup, but still making me feel a little moisturized because it is still a little cold in Austin and I just need a little bit of extra hydration. It's kind of funny because people are like, what are your plans for your birthday? What are you gonna do? And first I had grand plans. I had so many things that I was gonna do, so many things that I oh my God, I was gonna travel, I was gonna have a party, I was gonna have all these things. But I've settled on that I'm having a housewarming party with some of my friends on Saturday. It's gonna be something really, it's more about the house than it is about about my birthday. And I'm meeting up some friends in the future, and honestly I think I'm just gonna do something a little bit later. And my husband actually is on a conference for 2 days, so he's not even he's not even here. He's on a conference on Monday, Tuesday, so he's coming home late today because they're having, it's like a conference here in Austin, but they're meeting early morning to late nights because they are coming into grant season. And if you've ever been in academia, you know that is a stressful time. So they're basically just trying to, I don't know, have a game plan for grant season. So that's what they're dealing with today. So he apologized and I'm like, listen, it's okay. It doesn't have to be on the specific day. We can celebrate it a little bit later if you wanted to. And he was asking me if I wanted something for a gift, and I couldn't really think of something. And then I was like, actually, there is this perfume that I would like. Shocker. So yeah, I'm grateful to have a relationship where we're mature enough that it's of course you're still gonna go to this conference. It's my 40th birthday, but it's not the end of the world. We'll just shove things around a little bit. We'll figure it out. So it's me and the doggos and the kitty. I might. Now that I think of it, you know what I am gonna do? I think I'm gonna treat myself to some really nice DoorDash with a dessert and everything, both on Monday and Tuesday. That's gonna be a treat from me to me. Do you ever buy yourself a gift for Christmas or celebrations like this? I do sometimes. And I might do it now too. I actually told Ricardo that I wanted to treat myself to something when we got the deposit back for the place that we were renting before. I think they're only allowed to keep my deposit for 30 days after we left the place. And she's really stretching it. So I really hope there's no problem with me getting my deposit back because we left the place in pretty much a better shape than when we got there. So I would want to get my deposit back, and maybe I'll treat myself to something fun. This is a dry sponge, but I'm just gonna soak up a little extra product because I don't want to pound on too much. think I'm actually gonna start with bronzer. I was going through my bronzers and I was like, oh, it's a long time since I used this one. I think it's time. I think it's time. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Cream Bronzer. This is in medium, and yeah, it was definitely time. That is stunning. So the trip is happening. It's gonna happen because, okay, let me start at the beginning. I have been giving the opportunity, I've talked about this before my channel, I put some stuff up on my community tab. I have been given the opportunity to do a trip with my community, to do a trip with you, because there's so many things, like I said in the video before, that I've been wanting to do, but I've always been worried that like me organizing something by myself, that I'm just gonna bite off more than I can chew. And I was also a little bit worried about like security. If it's only me, like who can I bring? Like how can I make this secure? Not only for me, but also for you, because I don't want to create situations that become awkward or unsafe or just weird. And it's been so hard for me to figure out exactly how to do this. And I got in contact with this company that offered me to basically organize a trip with them for you and me. So this is going to be a trip together, and I had this survey open where you could basically tell me where you want to go, when you want to go, how long you want to go, what your budget is, like all of these different things. And I basically picked the option that you picked. That is basically what I did. I could have gone in and be like, oh no, I want to go here, or now I want to go about all of this. No, you voted Italy, landslide victory. Like, the amount of votes until this position number 2, crazy. So Italy won by a landslide, and there were 3 different options of places to go in Italy, and all of them was the same budget and within the budget that you have, like most people have voted for. So we're gonna go to 2 of my absolute favorite places in the world, which is Rome and Florence. I love Italy. I mean, I am on 150 day, as I'm filming this, 150, I think, maybe even more, 155 day streak on Duolingo for Italy. I will be able to order a coffee with milk, without milk, and also tell you that I'm lost. We will be fine. But thankfully, we will have a guide with us that will help us and will take care of all those things that I didn't want to. Like, where's the cab? When are we supposed to be here and there? Reservations, bookings, tickets, all of those things. Somebody else is gonna deal with that so that we can hang out and I don't have to do that. Because I don't want to do that. I want to hang out with you. That was the whole thing of this. I wanted to meet more people, but also do it in a way so that it doesn't become overwhelming for anyone. Because if you've been on my channel for a really long time, you know that the reason why I started my YouTube channel is that I was so lonely. I didn't have any friends. I definitely didn't have any friends to talk about makeup with. And I was also in a really, if we're gonna be honest now looking back at it, a really crappy relationship where I just felt like I needed an escape and I needed to do something for me. Am I putting on too much bronzer? Maybe. So this was never meant to be like a career or a job or even a side hustle. I was just seeing how other people were making connections and meeting friends on this platform. I'm like, this could be me. I could meet friends. I could get people to talk to. And I've met some of my closest friends through this platform, and also some people that started out as subscribers that I now like call my friends. And I just am so excited to get another opportunity while we get to see one of my favorite countries in the world. Like, Italy is amazing. One of the people that already booked the trip, because the bookings are open, said that she's expecting to be, I think she said 99% gelato when she comes home, and I'm like, same. Give me all the gelato, the pasta, the pizza, the smells, the atmospheres. Just like being outdoors in Rome and Florence, it's like a museum. Everywhere you look, it is just so pretty. And I, for one, cannot wait to see the look on your face when we go around the corner and we see the Duomo in Florence. Like, it's mind-blowing. And it's one of the things that I thought, like, when I started seeing old buildings, and in Sweden as well, like we have really old buildings from the medieval times in Sweden, one of the things that always struck me is, this is so big. That's what she said, but I also said that seeing these buildings, and it makes you like almost marvel at the whole idea of like someone back in the days put this together. How? like the Pantheon. It is breathtaking. The Colosseum. We're seeing the Colosseum. We're doing a tour. We're seeing the Colosseum. We're seeing the inside. And I've done that before, and it is so amazing. And I cannot wait to share that with you. Have I even said when the trip is? The trip is the 6th of August, and all the things that are included in the trip, which is like hotels and breakfasts and some dinners and all the tours, and we're going by train. I love that we're going by train between Rome and Florence. That's also included. We're going to a medieval village in Tuscany, and we're going to a winery. That's also included. All the things that are included is going to be in the link. I will leave it as the first link in the description box. What is not included is like flights, because some people are going to be in Europe, some people are going to be in the US, some people might be somewhere else. So what is included is there. And there's also some free time where I was thinking that maybe we can think about like what activities we want to do. If you've ever seen some vlogs or some information about the trip that Samantha March did to Ireland, this is going to be a little bit similar, where there's like an itinerary where we do a bunch of things, but there's also free time where you can either join in on activities that we pick, or you can like go off on yourself, like on your own, and do something else. For sure, you don't have to stick with the group all the time if you want to. There are definitely a lot of free options within the schedule, and for me, like sometimes I know like I need some time for myself, so there's definitely a place for that. Also, if you have any special dietary restrictions, you can put that in the booking. You can bring someone else. Like it's not like, oh, you only have to book one seat. No, you definitely can book if you want to bring a +1. Maybe you have a friend, maybe your mom, maybe your partner. That's also definitely a possibility. Most of the rooms are going to be double rooms, so some people are going to be sharing rooms. And as soon as I have a little bit more like meat on my bones with like planning and everything, I will do like a group chat so we can all speak together, and we'll do some like Zoom meetings as well before the trip, because I want this to be a friends trip. I want us to get to know each other, and it's going to be so much better if we get the opportunity to chat before. And I'm so excited. It's gonna be the 6th of August. Did I say that? I'm a mess, but I'm so excited. And I asked the guy at the trip, I'm like, please tell me, wait, powder, that I have the possibility to like add some places, because there's definitely things that I would like us to do. And he's like, yeah, definitely. And there's some things that we're gonna do that I haven't done. Like when I was in Florence, I loved Florence with the burning passion. It is so far my favorite place. My favorite place in Italy. I love that town. It's so beautiful, and you can walk everywhere, and it's just And the food in Florence is even better than in Rome. The food is great in Rome, but it is even better in Florence. And we are gonna go out, like I said, and visit a medieval village. And if you didn't know that, have you ever watched the Twilight movies? When they are visiting, what are they called? Those old vampires, Volturi? That segment is filmed in Tuscany in one of the medieval villages out there. So we are getting Twilight feelings. I am so excited to see that. I feel like I need to rewatch that movie before we go. And they do have a payment plan on the site as well. You definitely do not need to pay all of it at once. There are different options of like how you would like to pay for your trip. So you can definitely check out that in the link down below. And I will have, of course, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I will answer to the best of my ability. But I just cannot wait for us to hang out and for us to have this experience together and for us to be discovering or rediscovering two of my favorite places in the world. I'm gonna say some words that you don't hear me say a lot, but we're gonna try a pink lipstick. It's almost Valentine's Day. This is the Cherry Vanilla. So it's not really like a pink, it's like a reddish, sheer reddish pink, but I think it's gonna look a little pink on me. This is the Lawless Balm, and I actually really like the Lawless Balms because, as you can see, they're not super pigmented and they are more like a balm, not like a gloss stick. And it's just nice with a little variation. So if you ever did try the Tarte ones, these you can twist up. They do not break, they're like a balm stick. If you tried the one from NYX, there are a little bit more, the click up sticks, they're a little bit more firm. This is even more firm than that. Actually, it didn't turn out as pink as I thought. It's almost more like a coral on me. Ooh, and I'm losing my top. Let's not do that. That's really pretty. I'm so excited about that. Let us use this one again. The Berry Pop Cheek Trio. Not Trio. Trio. I'm going to use just these two shades today. And I'm going to be using Cinch EO7. because this is what I like to do with like, this is like a balmy, creamy thing. And I just think that this is gonna be perfection. So yeah, definitely let me know if you have any questions. I cannot wait for this to be just like a bonding, experiencing. 'Cause I remember when I was in my 20s, I didn't have any money, any opportunities, and I had friends, of course, but I always dreamed about doing like a friends trip. And when I was in my 20s, I remember Sex and the City was popular. And I remember there was a bunch of like series that was trying to be Sex and the City, you know, friends just in a town having fun together. And I always was like, why don't I have a group of friends like that we can do stuff with? But I could never afford to do a friends trip either. Like, it was just not in the cards for me. And now I have the opportunity to do it, and I have the opportunity to do it with you. And I just think this is gonna be such a fun experience. And I always think about like the things that I remember the most, the things that I look back to after a year, like what am I the most grateful for? And it is always the trips I've made, the connections I've made, the friends I've met, the stuff that I've done with my husband. It's always that. And like I said, with this time, I did just pick the thing that won, that won like the voting. Most people voted for Italy. Most people voted for September, and August was number 2. But in September, I actually have something planned with my husband that we are going to be doing together, and it's just something that's really, really important to him. So I don't want to let him down and be like, oh, we have to reschedule, because I really want to do it. And August still had so many votes, so I hope that's going to work out. I still have surprises regarding this trip that I can't like. It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind when you see more of the surprises that I have in store, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna be playing with the Dreamer palette by Unearthly Cosmetics. This is what the palette looks like. It's a really, really pretty, like cool toned with some pinks and purples. I wanted to do something that was a little pink because I thought this lip was gonna look more pink than it did, but it's a really nice coral. I'm not sad about that. But should we still do purple and pink? I was gonna say asking for a friend, but like I'm asking for me. So maybe like in this area here, right? Let me show you some swatches actually of this palette before we get into this even more. I'll scooch in a little bit more as well so you can see at least the eye look a little bit better. I just wanted this to be more like chatty video talking about things. Can you tell that I'm really excited? I feel like I'm losing my thread. I feel like I'm like forget to talk about things, but I'm having my birthday. I'm planning a trip. I'm just having a really good year so far. I remember telling my friend Linda from Glitter Fallout, 2024 is the year of fun. And this truly is gonna be a fun year. So I think I really want to play with this pink. I still haven't done anything with my nails. They're still healing. They're resting. So I think I might do... What do I want to do? Maybe like these two? Let's start with those two and see where we're at. Because I'm not 100% sure like what I want to do. Usually when I sit down to film, I know exactly what I want. Oh, I need to spot clean this one. Hold. But today I'm more like, let's see where this takes us. Okay, new try. This is Muse. Now we're in pink territory. We're doing pink apparently. I'm just gonna, I don't want to say speed through this, but it's not necessarily a tutorial. I wanted to talk about the trip. I wanted to talk about my birthday. I wanted to talk about, I don't know, life, dreams, expectations. Wow, this turned deep, but more like what I want life to be. And I want life to be more than just work. I want to do stuff. I want to see things. I want to meet people. I just want to read books and play games and see places and eat gelato and just have so much fun. Did I tell you about the early bird special? This is how you know that I'm excited. This is how you know that I'm excited. There's an early bird special where the first I don't know how many first people who booked a trip, every detail is going to be in the link down below, will be able to get an early bird special that is $100 off per person. And I don't know if there's any spots left as this is going up, but as I'm filming this, there are a couple of spots left. So if you were interested in this trip and if you knew that this is like something for you, I would definitely say move on it to get that discount. And like I said, they also do have different kinds of payment plans, and you only have to put down 25% when you're booking, and then you have, I think, up until 90 days before we leave to like pay it off in your own pace. Actually, this is like a warm pink and it goes better with the lips than I thought it would. Nice. I'm gonna blend this out with the lighter color that's called Soothe. Soothe? Am I saying that correctly? I don't feel like I'm saying that correctly. I remember when I was younger, I grew up with 3 brothers, a very modern family. My dad wasn't really in the picture because he was an alcoholic. And my little brother's dad was not in the picture either because he was also an alcoholic. I can talk more freely about this because both of them have passed away since then. But my mom met someone else, a factory worker. My mom worked as an assistant at a school. And when I grew up, we never got to go on any vacations anywhere. And I didn't really think too much about it. Sometimes it crossed my mind when I heard what people, you know, you come back to school and everybody talks about what they've been doing during summer break. And I was always... You know, what I did, I just stayed at home with my brothers. Me and my 3 brothers, we played in the forest. We played at the big stream where we were not supposed to be, but hey, we were. We definitely were. We were naughty like that for sure. And then one day a year, we got to go to a sommarland. Leksand sommarland is where we went. Basically like an outdoors play area for families. They had horses and go-karts, they had pools and water slides, and I remember that one day a year, we got to go there together, me and my 3 brothers, and it was the best. And I always felt so lucky that that was our vacation. And not until I got older did I realize that other people might have gotten more than me, but I never felt like I was without. But I also, when I started to realizing about all the things that are out there in the world, I started to realize like I wanted to see more of the world. And I definitely had a couple of places on my bucket list. And I remember when I started dating Riccardo, my husband. Yes, Riccardo is an Italian name. He is half Italian. His father is actually from Rome. His family is from Rome. And I remember when I went there, how absolutely blown away I was with the city and how I was just all of a sudden in a space where I could travel. And I just felt so lucky to have someone show me the city, show me the favorite places. I really hope that we have the opportunity to go to me and Riccardo's favorite gelato place, and that we were able to, like, one of the things that I asked Riccardo when we were there, I'm like, I want to see the fountain. He's like, what fountain? I'm like, the fountain that was in the damn brown Da Vinci Code. Is it Da Vinci Code or is it Angels and Demons? I think it is Da Vinci Code. And he's like, wow. He's like, okay. So he took me to see that one, and I took so many pictures, and I just am so in love with the Mediterranean. I'm so in love with Italy. I know that when we leave Austin, because we cannot live here forever, we don't plan to live here forever, I should say, because he's in academia. I'm like, can you? Like, is there a possibility? Could you go to Rome? Could you go to Italy? And he's looked into it, and there is a super, super slim chance, but like, honestly, I don't see that happening. But I love it enough to ask him, could we move to Italy? Like, is that possible? So I think we're gonna do Slumber. I think that one will be good. And then we'll do some of the pink purpley shimmers. I'm just gonna deepen up with this one. I hope this is gonna work out with the other colors, because this one is really dark. Okay, so this is the bright pink. I am gonna spray it because I want this to be like on my eyes and not all over my face. it's not 100% opaque, it's more like a half topper, but I can definitely build it up. And I actually prefer those because they're usually less chunky on the eyes if you have more mature lids like me. Some people are like, I want the fully opaque, which can be good sometimes, but the fully opaque can sometimes look so scaly and so heavy on a more aging eye. So I prefer this. Okay, this did turn out a little pink. I think I'm gonna use some of the darker to meet up. Let me put a little bit here as well. Oh yeah, I think this is gonna be great. So this is the darker shade Fantasy, and that is not even close to where I'm supposed to spray it. And I'm gonna put that here on the edge. Let me pick up a little bit more. Just to make it a little bit darker where they meet. You can see it's like a darker shimmer. Because I feel like that's gonna like really go in together with the Slumber, the matte. Right? I feel like that, I'm almost feeling a little Barbie today with the big hair and the pink eyes, and I even put pink eyeliner on, which I guess is not very Barbie, but let me live. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Please let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. I will have a group chat with like people that are going on the trip or people that are seriously considering going on the trip. I will organize that as soon as possible. That will happen on Instagram. Instagram is just honestly the best tool to be using for doing this. It is a free app to use, so I will let you know about that as soon as I have more info about that, because I cannot wait for us to talk about this, for us to plan this, for us to talk about the things we're bringing, talk about the makeup we're packing, the things we're going to be doing, and just getting to know each other and just having an amazing experience together. I have been dreaming about doing something like this for years, and I can't, but I guess 40s really is the best decade, right? This is gonna be my best decade. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you again tomorrow. I'm gonna do a trying out affordable makeup, and there are some really interesting things in there. Bye!